Hi guys, hope all of you are well. Just a quick video today. I wanted to talk about the action of coming out about your mental illness, in particular coming out about it in the workplace. Earlier this week, Guardian Witness put up an assignment where they invited people to comment on just that, how news of their mental health, their poor mental health and their struggles was received at work by their colleagues and bosses. I'll put the link up to the page in the description below, so you can read for yourselves first-hand accounts of this. Some of what I read really did give me hope and really encouraged me to believe that there are a lot of companies out there, a lot of people, a lot of teams who will do what they can to make those who are anxious, panicked, suffering from bouts of depression, who are bipolar, schizophrenic, whatever position you are on the mental health spectrum, make them feel comfortable and relaxed at work. We spend a lot of time at work, 8-10 hours a day, 5 days a week on average. It's important that we are all comfortable there and know that the role we are playing is key and acknowledged and appreciated. There are comments on there that I read that were appalling, that really got to me, and accounts that really should not be being told still in 2014. Hopefully you'll be able to read for yourselves what I'm referring to, but that's partly why I will continue to make these videos, and partly why I wanted to publicly state today that I'm not going to stop doing this as long as I'm able. I still receive stigma, I still receive poor reactions when I am either having a bad week or going through a bad period, or when I tell people, yeah, I'm being treated for depression, I struggle sometimes, there are things I can't do, etc, etc, whatever the conversation, whatever the form it takes. And until that stigma is dramatically reduced, no progress will be made. We are making progress. We are slowly beginning to align physical ailments with mental ailments, and slowly but surely mental illness is being treated or is being thought of as serious as physical health. Chronic mental health is as debilitating as chronic physical health, and people still don't fully accept that. When planning this video, once again the subject turned around to become me, my life, which I always try to avoid, but it's hard to when you're talking about something that means as much to you and is as big a part of you as this is. I have in recent weeks been told that I discuss my mental health or mental illness in general too much, that I bore people with it, people don't want to hear it, I've got no reason to discuss this, I'm getting attention, and for a period of time I did believe them when they said that, and I panicked and I thought that I should stop talking, get on with it. And then after getting a lot of positive feedback on Twitter and a lot of support from strangers who are slowly becoming friends, I realised, no, I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing. Firstly, it's helping others out there. I've received emails from people saying, thank you for your videos, they're helping me. And also it's helping myself. This, I said before, is almost a form of therapy for me. It's cathartic to discuss this just to a camera lens. And it's lovely hearing the feedback that I get. Not gonna lie to you, I do love receiving positive comments about what I'm doing, however small it is. I'm in a long line of people who are doing things like this. I'm one of many who are trying to reduce the stigma levelled at mental illness. Nothing I'm doing is special, it's just my little contribution to the cause. I would urge anyone who is suffering to tell someone. Unfortunately, you may get negative responses. There's still a lot of ignorance in this world, and sadly I can't promise you that you're going to get the reaction that you want, the reaction that you need, or the reaction that you should be getting when you tell someone that you are mentally ill. And that's why I will try to keep doing this to change that and encourage other people, more people, to be open about it, talk about it, try to educate others on it and help others. We're garnering a lot of support, a good network around us, and there's help out there if you need it. And I would like to just say that, I struggle, as do millions of others. We are capable, and there's help available. Be honest to yourself and with others, and surround yourself by good people. Surround yourself by those who care about you, love you, give you the respect you deserve. A lot more won't. They're not worth throwing over. You've got enough to worry about without listening to that. Focus on you, and focus on those who you love. I always encourage you guys to be open about your mental well-being and your mental health, and I hope you know that I try and do the same. So right now I want to discuss a little bit about the resonance that this issue, the world of employment, has of me in the situation that I currently find myself. I'm 24 next month, and I graduated from university last summer. With a lot of support, I managed to get a first-class degree, yet I haven't felt able enough, well enough, to go out and find a job that you would say aligns itself with my particular passion. I'm in the same job that I was 6 years ago. I had this job before uni, during uni and after uni. And because I've been there such a long time, everyone there knows about me, knows about my struggles, my depression, anxiety, few people I've told about my suicide attempt, and some people know about the seriousness and the extent to which I struggle. Others know that there's something to be aware of, and that's fine. But it's becoming increasingly important, vital, for me to go out and actively find a job which has progression prospects, a job that I feel I'm more suited to, a job that I would be happier in. It shouldn't come down to money, but I'm not paid enough to live on. I only survive because I live at home still, and I have saved somehow. I'm financially not able to leave home, and I'm not mentally well enough to leave home. The only way I can, in my head, work out to fix at least one of those things is to find another job, move on. But the latter is stopping me from doing that, and it's become increasingly more of an issue for me in recent weeks, months, whether or not I can, or I'm able, or I'm meant to move on and reach my potential. And with that comes the issue with how I will manage my mental health if changes happen. Changes in my life need to happen, and the very thing that I need to manage better, work with, is preventing that. I don't want to get to 30 and still where I am now. I know I can do better. I have fleeting moments, and they are fleeting, when I accept that I've got a lot more to give. And then the issue of disclosing my mental illness comes up again. I don't know if I'm strong enough yet to almost start again. My colleagues at the moment have known me, some for 6 years, the majority for at least a year, so that I've got that history with them. I'm comfortable where I am, and they are with me. So there's no need to explain myself a lot of the times that I come in unwell. My fear is that if I do move on, I'll have to almost start again and have to work out in my head the method I take relating to talking about my health. I fear that I won't be able to build up the same rapport again. I feel I won't be able to build up the same comfortable relationships that I have again, because I haven't started again in 6 years. I think the hardest thing that I've got to accept is the fact that if I'm going to get anywhere, if I'm going to get anywhere near fulfilling and achieving what I want to achieve, I will need to not necessarily start from scratch, but once again go through the worry of wondering how I manage my mental health in the work environment, building new relationships and sort of redeveloping that closeness with colleagues and finding my place, my role within in a group. That's something that took me a long time to do first time round, and I don't know if I'm ready yet or will ever be ready or well enough to do that again. So there's this vicious cycle that I'm going through right now whereby I need to progress, need to move on. I'm not achieving anymore. I'm someone who needs to be the best. I'm someone who needs to be seen to be doing well. I'm very self-critical and I'm very aware that I cannot live with being where I am now in a year's time, in 2 years' time. The clock is ticking, and the decisions relating to how I manage my mental health are coming to the fore, and the importance of working out and thinking about how I'm going to succeed and be accepted in the next chapter is terrifying. So this question over disclosing mental illness in the workplace really has resonated with me. I've had positive experiences thus far, but I've only had one job thus far. It's a job in which if I do miss a day, a week, whatever, if I'm not well enough to attend or not well enough to perform well, nothing really goes wrong. I can be covered. I'm not that important to the role. I need to be important to a role. I need to be crucial. In the same breath, accepting that I'm not always well enough to be is hideous and crushing and upsets me and frustrates me and worries me. Surviving isn't as black and white as many think it is. It's hard. It's gonna be difficult to start again and to find my place within a team again. And I honestly don't know how I'm going to play it, if I am able to play it in any way yet. I'd like to think that I would be employed for me, all of me, good and bad. But I sadly can see why people don't. I don't know. I would love to think that I am well enough to fully reach my potential and to get who I want to be in life. I want to be successful. I want to be seen as special. I want to be seen as crucial to a role. I want to be recognised as someone who tries their best, does well, and achieves. What's scary is the fact that right now I'm not achieving. There's nothing. It is a right, not a privilege, to be happy, comfortable at your place of work. We spend a lot of our time there, on average, 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. It is important that we feel comfortable, well, there, and if for any reason that we don't, it's important to discuss that, voice your opinions. I fully understand the risks involved with telling your employer that you are ill, and that does extend to mentally or physically, because the fear is, and it's been proven by some of the things I read on the Guardian website, that illness, in particular mental illness, is still seen as a weakness and still seen as a reason to not favour somebody, to not give someone a role, a responsibility, a place within the team. People who suffer from mental illness are stronger than it is perceived. Things that should be, and to a lot of people, are simple, matter-of-fact, day-to-day functions, we struggle with sometimes, and we have to fight to complete, get over. We're strong people, not all the time, but then who is? We can perform well, and we can do jobs, perform roles, as well as anybody else. The crucial thing here is support and making the workplace an environment in which anyone suffering from poor mental health feels comfortable and feels validated, and actually feels like a worthy person. An environment in which people can openly discuss their problems, worries, concerns, health is of course the ideal, and I'm under no illusion that is not going to happen overnight. That may never happen. Nothing's perfect. But I think it is key to realise that if we're going to make changes, that we have to continue, or for some people start, discussing this issue more. And I'm not for a second saying I'm some sort of trailblazer. I'm one in a long line of people who are doing exactly what I'm doing now, campaigning in my own little way I'm very for people listening to themselves and telling people what they're really feeling. And I know that there'll be a lot of negative feedback or the worry of receiving negative feedback when disclosing any sort of health issue, be it physical or mental, to your boss, fellow employees, colleagues. Nothing will change unless we start to make it less of a taboo to discuss. That support network, that having that safety net is important. I've been very fortunate in the respect that I have a team above me who I can talk to quite openly, who know me well, who know when I'm not well, and in the job that I'm currently in, I am the only person to have flexible working hours. And in the job that I do, flexible working hours are not ideal, they're not conducive to the role, but I proved myself